What's up? Welcome to my channel. If you voluntarily clicked on this video, I assume you're either A, new to riding and aren't sure what type of motorcycle you want to go with, or B, looking to change from what you have to something else. What type of motorcycle should you buy? So first you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do with it? Are you planning on just using it to commute to work? Are you planning on cruising on the weekends? You want to carve corners, accelerate fast, you want to travel long distances, you want to ride it off-road? All of these things matter. I'm going to go over a few of the main types of motorcycles that are out there, why you would want this one or why you would not want this one. Different bikes for different jobs. So let's start with one of the more popular ones, especially for beginners, is sport bikes. Sport bikes are going to be for speed and sharp handling, be a little more fun and playful. You get quick acceleration, tight handling, and a more tucked riding position. These are going to be good for somebody who wants something that's fun and nimble. We're talking more of the lower CC sport bikes. For somebody who just wants something that's nimble, that they can whip around, a little quick acceleration, sport bike's great for you. You are going to be in a more tucked position, so you're going to be more uncomfortable. If you're wanting to ride long distances and ride all day, probably not the best bike for that. After like an hour or two, I'm ready to put my Ninja in the garage for a week. So great starter bikes in that category is going to be like the R3, Ninja 400, CBR 500, good bikes in the sport bike category, especially for beginners. Next category is going to be cruiser. Cruiser is going to be kind of comfort, laid back, low to the ground. So for short riders, cruisers are going to be great because the seat height is usually lower to the ground. So you'll be able to touch the ground when you come to stops and at lights and things like that. You do get a lot of torque in cruisers as well. Not going to feel like you're as fast depending on what size motor and how much horsepower. But these are going to be great for long distance rides, just cruising, weekend cruiser. These are great downtown commutes. A lot of them will be good for the freeway too because they have a little extra weight to them. Cruiser, that is what it is. If you just want something for cruising, relaxing, a little more ergonomic feeling, cruiser's where it's at for sure. My recommendation for a good cruiser is going to be like the Kawasaki Eliminator or the Honda Rebel 300, 500 series. Those are great starter cruisers. Next category, do you need off-road capabilities? Adventure bikes are going to be great. They're going to be really tall, so short riders just, know what you're getting yourself into. Adventure bikes are usually taller, but you're going to be able to ride everywhere. They're comfortable typically. They're pretty upright, a little bit more sporty feel. So if you want something that can like pretty much tackle everything and still be pretty comfortable, adventure bikes, whereas I feel like everybody ends up on an adventure bike at one point in their life. Just nobody wants to get on that as their first bike. It's not considered like the cool bike. Like cruisers are badass and sport bikes are just dope in general, but nobody pushing the cool aspect of adventure bikes when adventure bikes are actually sick. The bike that nobody wants, that everybody needs. A good weight to them, good suspension, soft suspension. And a lot of the newer ones, you can adjust all that stuff too. It can be better for on-road, better for off-road, and you can adjust the torque, rain control, things like that. Incredible what an adventure bike can do. If you want a bike that just does it all, keep in mind it's going to be taller. The adventure bike's where it's at. Long distances, they have huge gas tanks, so you can take very long trips on these. If you're just somebody that just likes to travel a lot, pack your tent on the back and all your essentials, and these bikes are awesome for that type of riding. But one of the best like entry-level ones that I've ridden is going to be the Versus 300. It's not a ton of power, but it is plenty of power for what it is, and it's relatively light. It's a fun bike. If you got the money, Africa Twin is going to be such a sick bike. I rode one of those, incredible. The Tenere, that one was sick. I think that's how you pronounce it. It was a 700, and that bike is badass and a lot of fun. And it looks cool too. Like I'm not a huge fan of the adventure look like most people, but it's a cool bike and it's fun. So the next category is kind of like the adventure bike, but the opposite, but the same. Supermotos or dual sports, like the on-road, off-road bike. It's the off-road bike built for on-road. But you can still take these anywhere. You can still ride trails with them. It's essentially a dirt bike with street tires. But typically, you can ride these on trails. You can take them off-road. These street ones are going to have headlight, taillights, and all your turn signals and stuff to make them street legal. But you can still ride them on trails. You can still take them off-road. You get like the best of everything. The only thing you don't get is mileage. Smaller tanks on these usually. It's going to essentially be like a dirt bike. You don't get all the bells and whistles on a lot of these. They are simple, and simple can be better in a lot of cases, and they're just more fun. They're real lightweight. A lot of guys love these for wheelies because they're real torquey and real light, kind of back heavy. They're pretty ergonomic, so you're sitting pretty upright. They're pretty comfortable compared to other things. The seats, if you like the dirt bike style seat, if not, it might not be comfortable, but a lot of people like that, but they are a little bit narrower of a seat. KLX 300 is one of my favorites. I haven't actually ridden a ton of them. I rode the CRF 300L. Yeah, the CRF 300L. That bike was a ton of fun, actually. I think I do want to get one of these in the future. They're a ton of fun. It depends on how you want to ride them, but like if you're looking for something that can just do it all, real light. They're relatively inexpensive, but they're so light that little bit, they feel pretty punchy. And I like those. I mean, you can handle them like crazy too. You're a little bit higher up than like a sport bike, but if you get into corners and turns on those, it's a ton of fun. So next is going to be like your standard or naked bike, which is essentially like a slightly more comfortable sport bike. Most of the time the bars are up a little bit higher. They're a little bit lighter because you don't have the fairings. They're pretty torquey. This is like the Z650. And those bikes are fun. They're torquey. If you like the naked look, don't want the full fairing sport bike look, these are probably, in my opinion, one of the most fun type of on-road bikes. They sit you a little bit more upright, so you can ride them for longer than, you can ride them more comfortably longer than you could a sport bike, but you essentially get the same power, geared a little bit differently. They're a ton of fun. They're still fast, depending on what you get, but most popular one is the Kawasaki's 650. I think that's one of the most popular bikes ever sold. Outside of what type of bike you should buy, size is going to matter a lot based off your experience. If you're a less experienced rider, go with something smaller. 300 to 500 is really a pretty safe zone for most of these bikes. Cruisers, you can kind of push that number a little bit. Sport bikes, you want to stay a little bit lower if you're just starting. They'll still have enough power to get you out of a bad situation, not enough power to put you into a worse situation. That 300 to 500 is a pretty sweet spot for getting your first bike. You can think about things like gas. Obviously, cruisers are going to take a little more gas. You got more weight that you're hauling. Small sport bikes get really good gas. Naked bikes get really good gas. Supermotos, really good gas mileage. And so the most important thing is, just like shoes, you don't want to just order your shoes online without knowing anything about how the brand fits or how that model fits. Go into these shops, swing your leg over a bike, sit on them. If places allow test rides, test ride what you can. Try different types of these bikes. Look for events in your area. There's a lot of like demo ride events. You have to have your motorcycle license. But yeah, a lot of places, a lot of events, there's demo days and things like that. So you can actually take them out with a group and ride these bikes and try them out. If your friends have a bike, try one of theirs out in a parking lot or whatever. Try the bike, swing your leg over, at least sit on the bike. If you're not going to take the bike on the road, you know what you want, you know what riding you're going to be doing. Swing your leg over the bike, see how it fits, see what the positioning's like. If it's upright and comfortable, or if it's uncomfortable, if your legs are in a weird spot, or if you can't touch your feet on the ground. All these things are very important. So make sure you at least swing your leg over the bike and actually get a feel for what it's going to be like before you buy it. So there's no real answer on what type of motorcycle you should buy. And a lot of times you could buy almost any and still have the same amount of fun. And this is my big dog right here. What do you want? Come on, baby. Go. There's no one size fits all for these things, but there are motorcycles that can check off a lot of your boxes. So figure out what type of riding you're going to be doing, and then use that to figure out what type of motorcycle you want. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comment those below. And if you want to support the channel and not miss out on future content, click the subscribe button and turn the bell notification on wherever it is. Yeah, ride safe. Thanks for watching.